Here we are again. Starts and sits. Week 11. As always, skip the 2 minutes, 15 seconds to get right to the action, and I'll see you on the other side.
Are you ready?
We are back. Welcome back to the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Bandy. With me, as always, is Trey. We got 18 years of combined fantasy football experience, right? Here. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, baby. We out here in these streets grinding for your fantasy teams. Let's go.
That's right. Always. As per usual, we're here Friday night with your starts and sits. Trey's sitting in the truck. Look at this dude, man. Giving it up for him, man. I'm telling you, this guy is the truth. Making sure you guys get ready for the week. But I think we should just go ahead and get it started. Trey, what do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get into some Sunday starts and sits. All right, so let's hop right into it. First game, we've got the Bears versus the Falcons.
Just so everybody knows, before we talk about that, the buys this week, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, with that being said, Bears-Falcons over-under is 50 points. They got the Falcons winning by 3.5. Give me the Bears with the upset. I think Justin Fields runs all over the Falcons.
I mean, he's got it, right? That's what's been going on lately. I agree with you. Bears take the W in this game. Justin Fields is a fantasy monster again. What do you think, Trey?
I think that he will do good. I don't know if he's going to continue to be putting up over 100 rushing yards and all that craziness, but I mean, it could happen. I think he's definitely worth the start. I just think temper your expectations a little bit.
100% he's worth the start. I mean, I'm going to start this guy. But I think you just hope that he doesn't keep it up. Am I right?
A little bit. But I just think that, like, you know, you can only run 100 yards on so many teams before they scheme their entire defense around stopping you.
Absolutely. No, I get what you're saying, but then, you know, probably just Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney it. I don't know.
Well, but then you see, you got Derrick Henry, though, and teams always scheme their whole offense around stopping Derrick Henry, and no one ever can. So maybe Justin Fields is a Derrick Henry QB.
Hey, maybe. But let's go ahead and get into some starts for the Bears. Obviously, Justin Fields, we talked about that already. I think David Montgomery is going to be a must start this week. Khalil Herbert on IR, so and everybody can run on the Falcons. So I think Montgomery is going to get in that work. Cole Kmet has been fantastic. Start this man, please. He's off the injury report, just marked to healthy, so he is going to be a good one. I mean, somebody else is eventually going to catch a touchdown on the Bears other than Cole Kmet, but until then, you're going to keep starting this guy up. I don't think I trust any other wide receivers on the Bears, Trey. What do you think?
I mean, Daryl Mooney maybe, but it's hard. It's hard to put him in there. I mean, if you don't have a lot of options, I think he could be flexible, but I would definitely look other places.
Absolutely, yeah. Darnell Mooney, he hasn't had that monster breakout game for us yet, but he has been decent. He's been a little consistent, so I could see starting him. But other than that, Chase Claypool, I don't know if I could start Chase Claypool at all. But anything else for the Bears, buddy? You think I got it?
I think you got it.
All right, then let's move on to the Falcons starts. I think Mariota has a good game against the Bears defense. I think you could start him quarterback league, obviously, or them deep leagues. I mean, generally, you probably have a better option, but I do think Mariota has a good game here. I think Cordero Patterson has a bounce back game. I mean, they were coming off of quick turnaround for that Thursday night game, and he's an older running back, so they're trying to keep him as healthy as possible. But they've had some time off, and I think Cordero Patterson bounces back. I like Drake London also as a start here, again, against that Bears defense. I'm sitting Kyle Pitts. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Pitts has a couple of good catches and maybe an okay game. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but I don't trust him enough to take the risk there. Algier, I think, is a risky start, but I think he'll be okay in this matchup. If you have to start him, I understand. I got a question for you, Trey. Again, you hit him off right off the bat. Drake London or Marquez Valdez-Scantling?
Man, I don't want to start either one of those guys, to be honest with you, but it's Drake London.
Yeah, he had a good game last week, and I think they're going to, hopefully start using him a little more. We got some comments popping in. Tommy, welcome back, Tommy. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for popping in as always. Good evening, gentlemen. What's your thoughts on Elijah Moore out of the slot with Corey Davis out?
I would say that you're taking a big risk. I mean, I really wouldn't give Elijah Moore a shot in anything besides a DFS until he actually does something worth putting him out there for.
Yeah, he hasn't done much. I mean, I understand with Corey Davis out, but they're also going against the Patriots there, so just keep that in mind. We got another question. Jacob, welcome back. Jacob, good to see you, buddy. Should I trade Everett for London in PPR for wide receiver depth? I have Schultz as my starting tight end and not sure I want to hold two tight ends past the trade deadline this week.
Yeah, I like that trade a lot. I don't want to hang on to two tight ends, and I think Schultz is better than Everett going forward rest of season. And I think London's great wide receiver depth for your bench and a spot start here and there. Absolutely.
Just knowing when is a good time to start London is the tough part there. But yeah, I agree with you. Schultz is he's going to be good. Yeah, you don't want to hold two tight ends for sure. And that's a good reminder for everybody that trade deadline is creeping up on us. So just be mindful, get those last minute trades in. I think ours at the Bandy Bowl is a 26th or something like that, I believe. So we're creeping up, Trey. I know you're that trade master over there, so you better pop them in as soon as you can, buddy. Okay. And as if on cue, Albert popping in. Albert, what's up? What's up, fellas?
What's popping, Al?
What's going on, buddy? Big Al in the place. Big Al in the place. Thanks for stopping by, buddy, as always. You got anything else for the Falcons, buddy?
That's it.
All right, then. Let's move on to the next game. We have got the Eagles versus the Colts.
Over-under for this game is 44 points. Vegas got the Eagles winning by 9. I've heard in some places as low as 6. I actually think this is going to be a competitive game. And I was hating last week, when the Commanders beat the Eagles on Monday night, and I still think that the Eagles had a better week, and kind of got robbed of that game. But I still think that this is a close game. But I think the Eagles take it.
You think the Eagles got the win here? Well, I'm taking the Colts. Take the W for the Eagles' second loss of the season. Night to the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, I think people are starting to figure him out. And Jeff Saturday is on fire, and I think he's going to keep it going here, and the Eagles get another one. I mean, this team is playing different now with Jeff Saturday there, and I think they continue it. Colts take the W. Write that down.
I mean, any given Saturday, right?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. TSS Fanny says flexing into week 11. What's up? Commissioner Cooper over there on TSS Fantasy. Check him out, guys. Big things going on over there. Trey, before we get into the starts real quick, we got another one. Keg Carr says, should I trade Tyler Lockett for Mike Evans half PPR? Need to upgrade at my wide receiver 2 spot. What do you think, Trey?
You know what? I personally would rather have Lockett, and I know you probably would personally rather have Evans, but I think that's the buck in you. It's tough. I mean, both of them are kind of hit or miss here and there, but I think Lockett's had definitely a higher ceiling this year. So that's why I would go with Lockett.
I mean, as much as it pains me, I think Tyler Lockett is the call here, honestly. Mike Evans hasn't been doing as much as we'd like him to do. I'm worried he's not going to hit that 1,000 yards like he has done every year since he started in the league. I think Tyler Lockett is the call here. Keg Carr says, also a Bucs fan. LOL. Yes, sir. Welcome to the club, buddy. I understand your pain then. That Mike Evans is just too hard not to grab. But let's get it going, Trey. What do you got?
Eagles Jumping into Colts. My Eagles starts. First of all, you're starting Jalen Hurts. You're starting Miles Sanders. I think this team realized in the second half of Monday night's game that running is how they win. Because if you notice in the second half of that game, these two just started taking off and they started winning. They just did it a little too late. But I think Miles Sanders is definitely worth the start. A.J. Brown's a little banged up, but if he plays, you start him. Devontae Smith, a little banged up, but if he plays, I think you can flex him. I think it's not going to be a bad week for him because of Goddard being out and everything. But that's really all I got for the Eagles. What do you got?
No, yeah, I agree. Just be mindful, Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown are both nicked, both little wobbly, so keep an eye on that. I think A.J. Brown might be a little more nicked, and I think Devontae has a decent game this week. But that's all I got.
Jumping into my Colts starts, Matt Ryan averages more than 300 yards at home, so I think he's streamable. Jonathan Taylor back to full health. I mean, looks like a new man out there. You got to start that dude up. Paris Campbell, I think he's a great spot. Him and Matt Ryan have really gained a connection together, and I think he's worth a start. And then Pity City, if you like to live on the wild side, throw him out there.
That brings me to a question. Michael Pittman or Paris Campbell, Trey? Are you going
it's Paris Campbell by far.
Yeah.
By far it's Paris Campbell.
That's crazy. A lot of talk about Paris Campbell this week, Trey. Any other thoughts about that?
Yeah, I drafted him in my 32-man league. I drafted him in the beginning when I was like, Pittman ain't going to catch everything. Somebody else got to get the ball. It's Paris Campbell, baby.
You still got him over there?
I dropped him. Yeah, I dropped him several weeks back. But I
don't blame you. I mean, Matt Ryan was looking terrible there, but he came back with a vengeance, and I think you hit the head on the nail there with the Colts. But let's go ahead and move on to the next game, Trey. Next, we have got the Jets versus the Patriots.
Over-under for this game is 39.5. They have the Patriots winning by 4. I like the Jets to win this game. I don't think it's going to be an exciting one. I think it's going to be a hardcore defensive matchup. But I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out kind of matchup. So I think it'll be worth watching. But I think the Jets pull this one off.
Wow, Jets pull it off against the Pats. I mean, defensive matchup. You think Patriots has the upper hand there? I mean, I think the Pats take the W there, but I agree with you 100%. Defensive battle.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to some Jets starts. The Pats' run defense ranks 19th in the league. So keep that in mind. I think you could probably start Michael Carter here. Be mindful, it still is the Pats, and they could surprise you at any moment. But they are 11th in passing yards allowed. So if you got to start any wide receiver there, I go Garrett Wilson. But I mean, I wouldn't go any crazier. I wouldn't be jumping on no Elijah Moore unless you had no other options. You hear me, Tommy? Anything else for the Jets?
Nah, that's it.
What are your thoughts on James Robinson this week, Trey?
You really can't start him. I mean, especially, I know that the Patriots haven't done that great against the run, but I just don't see two running backs for one team both putting up fantasy value against the Patriots.
Yeah, I hear you. I smell what you're stepping in, Trey. But let's go ahead and move on to the Patriots starts. Ramondre Stevenson is a must start. Always start this guy. And Tommy pops in and says, I hear you. Dang straight. Jacoby Myers, I mean, you could start him. He had a rough week against the Colts a couple weeks back, but I think you could start Jacoby Myers here. And I'm sitting Damian Harris. I think that guy is, he's not doing what we thought he would do. Touchdown machine. It's just he's had a lot of rough weeks in the past, and I'm not willing to risk it. I'm sitting Mac Jones unless I have absolutely no choice, obviously. And I think Hunter Henry has an okay game. Maybe catches a touchdown. What do you think?
I like it. I think Jacoby Myers is more exciting in PPR formats, but I think he's definitely worth a shot. I mean, this dude has been their lead receiver all year. So,
yeah, and I drafted Kendrick Bourne in my 32-man league, and he hadn't done nothing. So, good job on that Bears Campbell grab. Yet, yeah, bring it on, buddy. I'm waiting for my breakout in that 32-man. But anything else for the Patriots? No. Let's move on to the next game. I've got the Commanders versus the Texans.
over under for this game is 40.5 points. Vegas has the Commanders only winning by 2.5. Let me tell y'all something. Vegas knows something, and Texans get the dub here. The Commanders are excited. They're on a high after beating the Eagles. Texans come in and clean up Heineke's bitch ass.
Woo! Dang, you got a problem with Heineke? You still mad about that Eagles win, aren't you?
I'm so mad at that final play, dude. It was so cheap to me. It was like taking a charge in the NBA. Like,
It wasn't his fault, bro. Fletcher Cox or whoever that was should have known better, bro. I mean,
I know, but I swear Heineke saw that coming and took the knee knowing it was going to happen. Because before they even threw the flag, he stands up and he's like, first down. And I'm like, yeah, that. You don't get excited over a penalty. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to lie to you. It looked like he baited him a little bit, but hey, that's the name of the game. He's not one of these knockout, drag out quarterbacks. He has to use everything in his arsenal in order to win, buddy. And that's what he had.
I just want to call out, you see Ryan Tannehill last night? That dude is my quarterback, okay? He leaning into the tackles. He got a tackle. That man, through interception, he's the one that got the tackle. That's the kind of quarterback I want on my team.
I did
not no
see
Heineke
that
take a knee and win the game.
After that pick, I did see that tackle, and he got it. He got in it. And Facebook user says, Washington's quarterback sucks. Bench his ass.
Hey.
I guess they agree with you, Trey. Guys, I'm going to take this quick moment to remind you, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're doing things like this all the time. We're giving away things. We're giving away a signed DeAndre Swift jersey, among many other things in the upcoming future. Go ahead and like the video for us, though. That helps us out tremendously. Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, so jumping into my Commander starts, I'm benching Heineke, obviously, unless it's 2 quarterback leagues, and I think maybe he's worth a shot if you're struggling to find a second quarterback. Terry McLaurin, I think you can start him. He's been Heineke's dude. Curtis Samuel, I keep benching him, but obviously he's done all right back and forth, but it's so hit or miss that I'm still benching him. So do your thing, but it's tough. The only thing I like about it is the Texans defense, with Curtis Samuel on that deal. But Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, I think you start both of them. I mean, they both had a great week last week. Brian Robinson really stepping up in there. Of course, you're not excited about it because you only really have a 1-week game script, but I think both of them are worth flexing at least. And I'm not ready to start Jahan Dotson. I mean, he didn't really do a whole lot yet. I mean, wait till he kind of gets in the groove. I think maybe in the future he will, but right now it's just not his time.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right on that. I really was really excited about Jahan Dotson, but that was when Carson Wentz was the quarterback. Tyler Heineke has no chemistry with this guy, and it showed. It showed. Or maybe they had him on a snap count and didn't want to play him too much, but I like where you're going with all that, Trey. And of course, Brian Robinson has a breakout game when I need him to suck, as per usual.
But jumping into my Texans starts, pretty short list here. Dameon Pierce. Normally that's the only person on our list, but I'm gonna throw Nico Collins out there this week. I think he's worth a start. And Brandon Cooks, I mean, I think he's droppable. I dropped him. The dude's not doing nothing for the team. The chemistry's off. It's bad. I mean, he still put up like 6 or 7 points, but it's just not somebody I want on my team with that kind of conflict of interest with their team.
No, I understand. I feel you on that one. Just keep in mind, Dameon Pierce going against that Commanders run defense that apparently is legit because they slowed the Eagles down last week. Did you see that, Trey?
Yeah, I saw it in the first half, and in the second half when the Eagles realized, hey, if we just run fast and hard, we can win this game, and it started working out. So Dameon Pierce will know what to do.
I hope you're right. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? What about Davis Mills, Trey? Are we starting Davis Mills against the Commanders?
I'm not. If y'all want to, send me a screenshot and let me know how you feel about your loss on the week. But
I mean, he's had a couple okay games, but
he's all right. But it's just there's better out there.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our Patriots Sports Radio the People's Player Prop Bets from Patriots Sports Radio. Check it out, guys.
PSR host guy, Patriot Sports Radio. I'm here with the People's Props. On Sunday, Jaylen Warren, over 25.5 yards, minus 120. Najee's been dealing with a foot injury. He had 9 rush attempts last week. We can expect more than that in week 11. The Bengals are allowing 4.2 yards per attempt. 9 times 4 is 36. That's more than 25. That's another winner in our pocket. Derek Carr, he's going to fail. Under 229.5 passing yards, minus 115. Devontae Adams is sick. Waller is out. I don't have time to tell you everybody that's not going to play. What I can tell you is they're playing the Broncos, and he doesn't have anybody to throw to. He's not going to crack 200, let alone 229. Take those, take your action, go get rich, and we'll see you here next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Patriot Sports Radio, for that good advice there. Guys, if you're betting, those are the guys to watch. Check them out over there. But let's move on to the next game. We have got the Rams versus the Saints.
Over-under for this game is 41 points. Vegas has the Saints winning by 1. I don't know how the Rams score anything more than a field goal in this game. I mean, they have nothing left.
Yeah. I mean, I have to agree with you, buddy. The Rams, dude. How the mighty have fallen. I've heard of a Super Bowl hangover, man, but this is a Super Bowl disaster, bro. I mean, usually the Super Bowl hangovers for the team that lost the Super Bowl. I don't know. It's just, I mean, so many players are different. Andrew Whitworth is gone. They're just a completely different team now, and it's showing. It's definitely showing. But by the way, I have the Saints winning that game also. I don't know if I said that, but I just want to throw that out there. But let's get into some Rams starts. I'm starting Allen Robinson here. I mean, who else are they going to throw it to? I mean, it's going to be Stafford, I believe, right? I mean, he's off the injury report. I think Allen Robinson has to step up here, or it could be Skoranek. Skoranek got 10 targets last week. I mean, I'm not going to start Skoranek unless I'm in a PPR deep league. It's not worth the risk to me. But I think you can flex Van Jefferson here. My only worry is Tyler Higbee. The Saints are very, very good at stopping tight ends. So I don't think Tyler Higbee does a whole lot there. I just want to say one thing. Matt Stafford, without Cooper Kupp, scares the hell out of me. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, this is one of the first times I think I disagree with you completely. I would not start Allen Robinson or any of those guys, but I would start Tyler Higbee. I think that Matt Stafford without Cooper Kupp, I think Tyler Higbee's probably going to get 14 targets. I know that the Saints are good against the tight end, but I just feel like they're just going to load Higbee up and not do nothing. But in a PPR format, I think Higbee's worth a shot.
I completely understand what you're saying. Like, it makes sense if you think about it. My issue is that the Saints are just ridiculously good against tight ends, and that's what scares me here. But I get what you're saying here. I just want to say also, keep an eye on Kyron Williams. You know, he is behind Darrell Henderson now. Cam Akers fell into the third spot on the depth chart, so just keep an eye on this guy. Maybe a stash for later on. Before we get into the Saints here, we got a question from Tyler Atwood. Need another perspective. Full PPR flex spot. Curtis Samuel, Tyler Higbee, Darius Slayton, Kenyon Drake.
Did they say if Gus Edwards is back this week or not? Has that been announced if he's playing or not?
Honestly, they don't even know yet. It's looking more like a game time decision here.
Yeah.
But I know where you're going with it, because that's where I would be going with it.
I'm going Kenyon Drake if Gus Edwards doesn't play. Even if he does, I would be thinking about Kenyon Drake, but then I would lean a little bit more towards Darius Slayton.
Yeah, no, that's exactly where my head goes. I'm trying to think, who are the Ravens playing this week? I can't remember.
The Panthers.
Panthers, yes, exactly. Playing the Panthers, like you said, Kenyon Drake is the move there. Unless Gus Edwards is back, then Darius Slayton. I'm with you, Trey. I'm right there with you, buddy. But thank you for the question, guys. If you got a question, throw it in the comments section. We got time. We want to answer your questions, so throw them out there. But let's go ahead and move on to the Saints starts. Starting Chris Olave, obviously. I think you could flex Jarvis Landry. He needed a game to get back to where he was. I think he's going to do a lot better here. And if you're trying to stream a tight end, you need to seriously consider Juwan Johnson. This guy has been consistent. He's someone to watch. Did you think I was going Taysom Hill here, Trey? I saw the grin.
I did for a second, yeah.
No, sir. No, sir. I no Taysom Hill. I have it here right here in my notes. It says Taysom Hill. Nah.
Nice.
Just check out Juwan Johnson if you're trying to stream a tight end, because I almost grabbed him up. I aimed for somebody else, though, who we will get into later. But Keg Carr says, if Gus Edwards plays, should I start him? I need a running back with ETN and Kenneth on bye.
I mean, it's scary, man. It's scary to start him because, there's been games where Kenyon Drake, even with Gus Edwards healthy, is done, and he might be on a snap count. It's definitely scary, but I mean, if you got no other options, unless one of the Kansas City running backs that are out there that are not Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think you could throw him in there.
Yeah, the Panthers aren't very great against the run there. If Gus Edwards plays, I think I would start him. If you had another option, I might go there just in case. But yeah, it also scares me that Kenyon Drake has been so good lately. How are they just going to, jump off the hot hand there? That kind of scares me a little bit. But yeah, thank you for the question. But where are we at, Trey? Let's see. You got anything else for the Saints?
That's it on the Saints, brother.
Yeah, I feel you. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. I have got the Browns versus the Bills.
Over-under for this game is 46.5 points. Vegas has the Bills winning by 7. Obviously, give me the Bills to win this game. Originally, this game was being played in Buffalo with 6 foot of snow. It's now been moved to the Detroit Stadium, so you don't have to worry about the snow situation. I think this is going to be a good game, but I think the Bills take the dub. Yeah,
I read something that said projected 6 feet of snow in Buffalo. It said Nick Chubb is 5'11". How's he gonna run the ball, bro? If he's over the snow's over his head. Hilarious.
Right.
Before we get it going, Tyler has another question for us, Trey. Since Higbee is now probably the first option in LA, I don't know if that means I should start him over Hawkinson, who has 19 targets and 16 catches since joining Minnesota. Trey, what do you think?
I'm starting Hawkinson over Higbee all day. Hawkinson is more guaranteed. Basically, he's going to get some work, and that's a high off. I mean, the Vikings offense is insane. I don't think the Rams scored more than 3 points in that matchup against the Saints. So I'm just saying that Higbee is the only person that I would be looking at all. But Hawkinson, I think, is a great start this week.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'd go Hawkinson for sure over Higbee. I know it's enticing because he is the seemingly only option over there. But as I just said, the Saints are very good against tight ends. So you just got to ride the hot hand there with Hawkinson, man. But Keg Carr has a question for us. Long list. Sorry. That's all right, buddy. LOL. My options are Gus Edwards, Kenyon Drake, James Robinson, Tyler Algier, Jerick McKinnon, Jaylen Warren, or Latavius Murray.
Yeah, so first of all, I think I would start Kenyon Drake over Gus Edwards. Even if Gus Edwards plays, I think I would rather have Kenyon Drake in that matchup, just on account of a snap count or anything like that. But out of the list, I would either go Kenyon Drake or Jaylen Warren are probably my two favorite on that list.
Yeah, I also like James Robinson here. He says he only needs one, though, Trey. Need one. Pick one.
I think my top would be Kenyon Drake, and then down below that would be Jaylen Warren.
Yeah. I could see that. Jaylen Warren has been consistent, like they're splitting carries there, the Steelers. I agree. I agree. Thanks for the question, buddy. What do you got, Trey, for the Browns?
Let's jump into the Bills. Let's go Bills starts first because that's how my notes are set up, Okay. Josh Allen, obviously, you're starting that dude. Diggs, if you got Diggs, you're starting him, obvious. Gabe Davis, he's hit or miss, but he has a high ceiling. I think you have to start him if you have him. And I think Isaiah McKenzie's even a little flexible in Detroit, with the good weather and everything like that. He's been doing all right, 11, 12 points a week. I think he's worth a start. And Devin Singletary, he's quietly flexible. I mean, this dude has been doing okay.
I mean, flexible in some leagues, RB2 in others. I mean, what's going on, Singletary? It's like the end of the year. He always gets this surge. Same thing happened last year, and he just took off. He was kind of the star of that game the other day. I love it.
Yeah.
Go ahead to the
jumping
Browns.
into my Brown starts. We got Cooper Kupp. He's hit or miss, but if you have to start him, you have to start him. It's he struggles more with away games, but this is kind of a
Amari
closer to home
Cooper?
game. Yeah, what did I say?
Say Cooper Kupp.
Oh, I still got my boy on the brain, but yeah, Amari Cooper.
Sorry.
So, like I said, he's hit or miss, but if you have him, you probably have to start him. Donovan Peoples-Jones has been flex-worthy for several weeks now. I think you can throw him in there. And then it's Chubb. It's Chubb all day. That's your best start there. Hunt is on your bench and maybe on your waiver wire. He's on ours. Sad, but you can't start Hunt. And then if Njoku's back, I'm cranking him up.
Yeah, I like it. Sorry to interrupt you, buddy. I thought you were joking for a second there.
No, I just had Cooper written in my notes, and so my head immediately went Cooper Kupp.
That's what I figured. I like it. I like where you're going with all that. But Tommy's popping in again and says, I need a flex full PPR. Michael, that's Pittman, right? Junior? DPJ, MVS, Nico Collins, Michael Carter, Paris Campbell.
That's Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's what it was last time.
Okay, first of all, I'm eliminating MVS from that list because he's banged up. Yeah. Michael Carter against the Patriots, I don't know. I think, honestly, if I want a solid floor, I think I'm going Nico Collins or Paris Campbell. But I think that if I'm wanting a higher – I think I'm going Paris Campbell regardless. I don't know why. I'm just really feeling Paris Campbell this week.
Yeah, good matchup there. I see why you're feeling some Paris Campbell. But Michael Carter, like I said, the Patriots defense is not great on the run there. So I agree. We'll go Paris Campbell there. And Patriot Sports Radio popping in says, finally home. You missed it, buddy. You missed your segment. You have to go back and watch it now. That's all right. What up, boys? What up, buddy? Good to see you. We got another question here from Boxy Kevin 100 says, I traded away Boyd for Lockett since Chase is coming back soon. W or L, Trey?
I think it's a W regardless if Chase is coming back. Boyd hasn't been that great even with Chase out, and Lockett's been pretty high ceiling, so I like the trade.
Yeah, definitely. Don't be surprised or upset if Boyd comes out and has one great game. Feel like you lost that. Lockett's going to get you consistency, and that's what you want to win fantasy football. But thank you for the question, Boxy Kevin. Appreciate it, buddy. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button for us. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. The like button, though, helps us out tremendously. So please, if you don't mind, would be greatly appreciated. But let's go ahead and move on to the next game, Trey. I have got the Panthers versus the Ravens.
Yes, sir. Over-under for this game is 44 points. Vegas has the Ravens winning by 12.5. I think the Ravens win this. They're on a 3-win streak. I think they go ahead and take the fourth one.
Yeah. I mean, I got the Ravens taking the W on that. We got Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback for the Panthers here. I mean, the Ravens. It's got to be the Ravens, right? Easy W.
Baker Mayfield, your start of the week?
No, absolutely not. But I mean, if you're like in one of them 32, 16-man leagues and you need a quarterback, one that might surprise you, throw him in there. Why not? That gives me a question for you, Trey, though. Baker Mayfield or Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton? You're going the red rifle there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Baker Mayfield came in on that game a couple weeks ago and threw 2 touchdowns, and that's kind of got me thinking, hey, maybe he's got something to prove now. Maybe he's going to do something, or maybe that's my mind playing tricks on me.
No doubt. He'd been having something to prove.
No doubt. But Foreman, you got to start him, right? I mean,
yeah,
you have to. I mean, against the Ravens D, it's a little scary, but the Ravens are third in yards allowed by running backs, so that kind of scares me. So temper your expectations on Foreman here. The Ravens are also 28th in passing yards allowed, so it seems like they concentrate on the run more. So I think DJ Moore has an okay game. I think you could start him. Maybe flex Terrence Marshall here, and keep an eye on Laviska Shenault. I mean, this dude somehow, here and there finds the ball and does miraculous things with it. And I think Trimble, the tight end, gets a touchdown. I'm not saying start him. I'm saying he gets a touchdown. What do you think?
I like it.
All right. And Albert's got a question for us. Do you guys think Mark Andrews plays this week, Trey? I know you hope so.
Yeah, man, I hope so. I mean, it looks like he was limited in practice, but he did get a little bit of practice in. That's exciting to me because I need him to play.
Yeah, I think he's going to play. I mean, he's a tough guy, and he's been out for a while. He's had a little bit of time to heal, and I think Mark Andrews gets the start here. But we got another question, Trey, before we get into the Ravens. Boxy Kevin says 7-3. I have Diggs, Kirk, Cooper, Lockett, Henry, Barkley, Taylor, Schultz, Everett, and Cousins. Any trades? I got Deshaun Watson on my bench. What do you think, Trey? Everett?
Man.
Isn't that who we talked about earlier?
Yeah, definitely. I think he was the one that said the Everett trade. Yeah, definitely get rid of Everett. Yeah, but I like the team other than that. I mean, everything's pretty solid. I'm guessing that's Amari Cooper and not Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
So if you could ship him for some other kind of a wide receiver at the same level, I think that would be more consistent. I think it'd be worth it just because Amari Cooper and Tyler Lockett are both kind of volatile. You kind of want more of a consistent wide receiver on your team. But other than that, I like it.
Same here. Yeah, I think, Cooper was having some great weeks there, but, what happens when Deshaun comes back? Then he's got the stack. the Watson Cooper stack there. If Deshaun, who hasn't played in a couple of years, does something, I mean, it might be worth holding on to. But for now, I agree with you, Trey. I mean, you can't trade him later, right?
Right.
And Boxy Kevin says, thank you all. Anytime, buddy. Come back anytime. We got a question from Eric. I need to pick two of these three. Olave, Ramondre, Devontae Smith. I feel like with Goddard out, Smith could get a lot of work. I already
Don't
know
overthink this. It's Olave and Ramondre, and just let Smith get a lot of work on your bench. Like we said earlier, he's limited in practice, and he's a little banged up. And Olave and Ramondre both are going to have great weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Trey, 100%. I as I was reading it, I knew the answer to it. Like Trey says, though, don't overthink it. I will say that most people overthink their lineup so much that they end up killing themselves here. So, guys, don't overthink it. Just great advice for your fantasy teams here. And Tommy has another question, Trey. Isaiah Pacheco or James Robinson, full PPR? We'll go with that one first. What do you think?
Man,
I'm going Pacheco.
I like Pacheco this week, man. Yeah.
He took over that backfield last week. I think Pacheco has a great game. I think he's going to start to pop off. Now the next question, Trey. Freiermuth or Higbee?
It's Freiermuth, dog.
I agree. And Tyler Atwood says, I'm trying to trade away Higbee since I have Hawkinson and probably won't start both Higbee and Hawk on a weekly basis.
Yeah, maybe Higbee has a great PPR game, and you can get him shipped out. And because I like Hawkinson better the rest of the season anyway.
Well, he says, who should I try and trade 1-for-1? I need a wide receiver. Who should he trade and for, what wide receiver you think? I mean, Hawkinson.
I know it's tough. It's tough, Higbee. You gotta really sell that he's finna be the dude and finna take all of Cooper Kupp's work. But I think, maybe you could. I don't know. Do you think if you could convince somebody, I might go out and try to get like a Terry McLaurin or something like that. I think you might be able to convince somebody.
I was thinking Paris Campbell maybe.
Yeah, Paris Campbell or Nico Collins, you could probably easily get that trade. I just always like to shoot for the stars first.
Well, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Definitely shooting for the stars on that one. But yeah, I agree. Somebody in that range, absolutely. But let's see. Let's get on to the Ravens starts here. Let me find them. Duvernay. I think you can start Duvernay. I mean, Bateman's out. It seems like he's going to be out for a while. And then as we talked about earlier, if Gus Edwards doesn't play, I'm starting Kenyon Drake. I'm going to keep an eye on it, though, because if Gus Edwards does play, it scares me to start Kenyon Drake here. And if Mark Andrews is in, then has likely fallen back onto the waiver wire. I called it when it happened. I said likely may have just been one of those games where he just has a great game and, that's it. But who knows? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree completely. I really think Andrews has a great comeback week this week off injury, and he's ready to go and do his thing.
I bet, buddy. I bet. And Tyler says, you think I could snag like Lockett or Devonta Smith for Higbee?
It really depends. So I probably would trade Devonta Smith for Higbee, but I have had a really rough year with Devonta Smith. Every time I start him, he does terrible. Every time I bench him, he does great. But shoot the trade out there. I mean, that's the worst. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is they decline it and you move on. Like, you're not taking an effect by shooting the trade. And the deadline's coming up, so shoot that trade.
Yep, absolutely. Great advice, Trey. But let's move on to the next game. I've got the Lions versus the Giants.
Over-under for this game is 46 points. Vegas has the Giants winning by 4. I think the Giants get the dub here. I think it'll be a great game to watch and a high offensive game, but I think the Giants take it home.
No, I've got the Lions winning this game, buddy. They're on a hot streak, and it's about to get crazy. I think, the Giants have been great, but just not great to watch. You know what I mean? They've found ways to win, and I think the Lions' offense is, high-powered, and I think they can do something big.
Jumping into my Giants starts, number one, Saquon Barkley. Obviously, this dude's a monster. Got to start him. Daniel Jones, I think he's definitely streamable, startable, two-peak quarterback, one quarterback, doesn't matter. He's putting up points. Darius Slayton seems to be the wide receiver to start on this team. Dude's been looking really good. And Wan'Dale Robinson, I think he's worth rostering. I don't think he's worth starting, but I think he's worth rostering. I think you need to watch this guy because I think he's definitely going to have more of a rise the rest of the season.
Yeah, I like it. I like to watch Wan'Dale, definitely. We've been watching him, all year, and we're ready for it, Trey. We're ready for it.
Right. But jumping into my line starts, Jared Goff, definitely 2 quarterback leagues. You got to start him. He's streamable in 1. Their offense is just so high octane that he's worth the start. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got to start that dude up. Dude's a monster. And my dude, Jamal Williams, start that dude up because he has been so consistent regardless of Swift being back. Speaking of Swift, it's hard to start him, man. Like, you can't. But, like, I know people that have him are like, well, I have to. And I get that. But, like, honestly, I feel like I'd rather start, like, Isaiah Pacheco over Swift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sad because he, he started off really great this year, and we thought he was going to be something special. Keep in mind, Jamal Williams is, I believe, a little hurt. So just keep in mind about that. Maybe Swift has to step up and, get more snaps and do more there.
Jamal Williams got heart. He going to be there.
Yes, he does. But I like it. Trey. Anything? Did we do the Giants already?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did the Giants. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. I've got the Raiders versus the Broncos.
Over-under for this game is 43.5 points. Vegas has the Broncos winning by 2.5. I think the Broncos win it by more than that. I think this is a pretty easy dub for the Broncos and Russell Wilson.
I got the Raiders taking the W on this one. They got to win at some point, buddy. They got to win at some point. But before I hit to the Raiders, Tommy's got one more for us. He says, last one, boys, I promise. Commanders or Eagles defense, and my other league, Eagles or Bengals defense. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you both and your families. So let's start with the first one. Commanders or Eagles D?
I want to start the Eagles D over the Commanders D, honestly. I know the Commanders are playing Houston, but the Eagles D have been pretty solid this year, and I think that they'll get you more value out of your points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see the issue here, but I think Eagles D is the way to go here also. And his other league, he's got Eagles or Bengals D. I'm sticking with Eagles. You?
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, it's definitely the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to watch something, interesting and have a little bit of game and, a little bit of in both games, go Commanders in one, Eagles in the other. You know what I mean? That way you got 2 exciting games to watch.
No doubt.
But let's go with the Raiders starts here. They might be without Devontae. He's on the injury report. I think he'll probably play, but if he doesn't, I think you could probably start Mac Hollins only if Devontae doesn't play. I mean, you might be able to flex Mac anyways, but I mean, we're aiming a little higher here. And that is going to bring me to my flex start of the week, and that is Foster Moreau. Last week, Foster Moreau played 95% of the snaps. Foster Moreau, man, you need a tight end. He's probably out there on the wire. Darren Waller has fallen onto the IR. And the Broncos are number 1 in passing yards allowed. Number 1 in passing yards allowed. That's insane. So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of checkdowns to Foster Moreau in this game. And he's always on the field. So something to look out for. And I'm not saying start him, but I'm saying keep an eye out on Keelan Cole. Just keep an eye, just one eye, just looking over. Is that Keelan Cole? Yeah, that's him. See what he's doing. Over there. What do you think, Raiders?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Absolutely.
Foster Moreau's the dude.
Yes, sir. I hope so, because it was either, for me, it was between Juwan Johnson or Foster Moreau. What do you think, Trey? Who would you have chose?
Foster Moreau.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. But let's go ahead and move on to the Broncos. Listen, the Raiders are 26th in passing yards allowed. I think Russell Wilson might have a good game here. I would start Wilson in this game. Vegas is also 21st in rushing yards allowed, so maybe Melvin Gordon might be worth a throw in there. I don't know. If you got to. Might be a good flex. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm flexing him.
Absolutely. Awesome. And Cortland Sutton. Jerry Jeudy is out. I think Cortland Sutton has to step up and be that guy. And of course, I'm starting Greg Dulcich. Came out of nowhere to become, one of the top mid-level tight ends in the league, if that makes sense.
Right.
What do you think about that, buddy?
Yeah, I like Greg Dulcich a lot. I mean, this dude's just been consistent at tight end position. He's doing his thing. Cortland Sutton scares me a little bit. I know they got those two other guys that they kind of brought up, one off of free agency and one just off the practice squad that have been taking a little work. But I think it's worth a start.
Absolutely. And we got a question here. I need 2 running backs. Jonathan Taylor, Deonta Foreman, Tony Pollard, Jamal Williams, Trey. Pick 2.
Yeah, it's Jonathan Taylor and Deonta Foreman, and it's pretty easy to decide that for me.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, even though Jamal Williams is your guy, you're going Foreman over Jamal, huh?
Yeah, I just think it's matchup centered, with everything. Like in Deonta's pretty much like Chuba. They really haven't gave Hubbard enough work, and Jamal Swift could still take more work. It just hasn't happened yet. And like you said, Jamal's a little banged up. So yeah, I like Foreman and Taylor a lot here.
But Kid Carr has a question: Elijah Mitchell or Jaylen Warren, Trey?
It's Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell has got more reps than CMC, and coach says it's 50-50. I like the way they're doing things over there. I think Elijah Mitchell gets more work.
I agree. And Facebook user, I don't know who you are. Tell me who you are. Says thank you. You're welcome. You are welcome. Glad to help. That's what we're here for, guys. That is what we're here for. But before we move on to the next game, it is going to be our Manscaped game of the week. This week, we've got the Cowboys versus the Vikings. Before we get into it, let's get a quick word from our sponsor. Support for Forts and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming? Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and worldwide shipping with the code SUPERFLEX20 at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 12 million balls. That's right, Manscaped, guys. Check them out over there. Great things going on over at Manscaped. We're always talking about the Lawnmower 4.0, but there's something we need to really talk about, Trey, and that is those boxers, buddy. Got the 2.0s in. How you liking them?
Oh, I love them, dude. These things are monster. I mean, they're so comfortable. They're just as good as the originals, but better somehow. Yeah, you guys got to get you some Manscaped boxers, dude.
Oh, dude, they are great. They got the pouch there for us, man. Just, keeping everything nice and secure. Guys, check out Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code SUPERFLEX20 to get 20% off of your entire order worldwide. But let's keep it rolling, Trey. Let's go to the game, the Manscaped game of the week. We have got the Cowboys versus the Vikings.
Over-under for this game is 48 points. Somehow Vegas has the Cowboys winning by 2. I like the Vikings all day in this matchup.
Yeah, me too. The Vikings are starting to look like contenders, man. That game last week was insane. Game of the year, they're saying. Justin Jefferson really stepping up. Cooper Kupp is out now. So, I mean, he's looking like the best receiver in football right now. What do you think?
No doubt. I mean, don't shy away from Diggs because Diggs is a monster, but I do like Justin Jefferson a lot.
Doing big things over there. If you got him first in your drafts, looks like you made the right call.
No doubt. Jumping in, straight up into my Vikings starts. Justin Jefferson, he's limited in practice, but if he plays, you start him. You have to. Dude's a monster. Kirk Cousins, you start that dude up. I mean, he's worth the start. He's top 12 quarterback on the year. Adam Thielen, I think you can throw him out there. I know the Cowboys defenses are tough, but I think he'll get enough to be flex worthy. And Hawkinson, I think, is a great, consistent tight end. I mean, they're using him right off the rip. He's like just adapted immediately to this team. I love him. I can't even picture him on any other team anymore. Like, he's a Viking to me now. And then Dalvin Cook, baby, you got to start him up. I know you think he's going to get hurt, but you got to start that dude up. I mean, he's been putting up monster points. You got to put him out there.
Oh, that was a personal conversation between you and me, Trey. I said I grabbed up Pattinson just because I got a feeling that dude he's been running too hard this year. So I hope I'm wrong. And Trey told me, what'd you tell me? Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Right.
Sounds good though.
Jumping to my Cowboys starts. I'm starting Dak up. Schultz, I mean, like I said, tight end's tough. Schultz is a great start. I think rest of the season they're really working things out together. CeeDee Lamb getting them touchdowns. You can start that dude up. Sounds like Zeke's gonna play. Don't start him. I don't think. I think even with him playing, I think he's gonna be rough. I think Tony Pollard is still flexible. I think that even with Zeke out there, I think Tony Pollard gets enough work to be flex worthy.
I mean, I think you're right. I mean, they know what they got with Pollard now, and they're starting to understand, and Zeke is starting to fall to the back burner there. I agree. But we got a question about Zeke, actually. I need a running back and flex, PPR, Zeke versus the Vikings, Elijah Mitchell versus the Cardinals, Devonta Foreman versus the Ravens, Duvernay versus the Panthers, Jefferson versus the Saints, Palmer versus Kansas City. Trey, go.
Yeah, I think I like Elijah Mitchell or Foreman. I think it's probably I'm leaning towards the Foreman side, but I think you could pick either one and be safe.
Yeah, I think Elijah Mitchell splitting the backfield with CMC is going to do big things over there. I mean, we thought he was going to emerge as the main guy over there, and it's looking like it seems like a great idea if you think about it. Like, don't overrun CMC. Because you know what happens when that happens, he gets hurt. I mean, that's not good for us in fantasy. I know there's some fantasy managers that are hating that, but I mean, in football, if you're a football fan, you understand, right, Trey?
No doubt.
But let's move on to the next game. We have got the Bengals versus the Steelers.
Yes, sir. Over under for this game is 43.5 points. They got the Bengals winning by 4.5. I like the Bengals to win this game. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, I just think the Bengals come out and show up. Joe Burrow's the dude.
Yeah, I agree. Bengals win this game. It's hard not to start Bengals if you have them on your team. I'm starting Higgins. I'm glad he's back off of that bye. I can hopefully rely on him for the rest of the year. I think Boyd has a good game. I mentioned it earlier. I would trade him away because I don't think he's going to continue to be consistent. But I think it's that time against that Steelers D for him to have a good game. Hurst, I think, is flexible. If you need a streaming option in tight end, you could throw Hurst in there. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that a lot. Hurst, I mean, I think Hurst is consistent enough to be just your weekly starter. Out of these tight ends in the world right now, like I want him over a lot of these guys. Hurst is my dude.
For sure. Let's keep it rolling to the Steelers. You're gonna start Pickens, right? I mean, Pickens is gonna have a good game, I think, here against Cincy's D. What do you think about starting up Pickens, Trey?
Yeah, you got to start Pickens. I mean, Deontay Johnson just ain't nothing worth looking at, and Pickens is coming in to clean up the work. Pickens and Freiermuth, those are my dudes.
I got Freiermuth. I got Pickens to start, and I guess you're going to go ahead and start up Pickett, right? I mean, if you got no other options, start Pickett up. Should be a good game. And if you absolutely have to, I mean, you're going to start Najee, right, Trey?
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Patriots Sports Radio says Wilson or Rodgers moving forward. I know it hurts him to ask that as a Packers fan. Trey, what do you think?
I think it's still Rodgers as of right now, man. I think it is. I need to see more out of Wilson, but I think Rodgers still for fantasy and everything. I think it's him moving forward right now.
Yeah, I have to agree. I know that hurts you, Chris, to ask that question, but yeah, stick with your guy. Stick with your guy.
Tannehill.
Oh, the gloves coming off. Tannehill. But let's go ahead and move on to the next game, Trey. That is Sunday Night Football. We've got the Chiefs versus the Chargers.
Yes, sir. Chiefs versus Chargers. Over under for this game is 50 freaking points. They got the Chiefs winning by 6. Give me the Chiefs to get the dub. The Chargers have been looking rough. Chiefs are on that move. And I know they're banged up a little bit, but I think Mahomes can pull this off pretty easily.
I've got the Chiefs winning that game. I mean, the Chargers have looked terrible, but I would love to see the Chiefs lose this game. Like, I might be willing to throw a $10 bet and cover the spread on that one just to see what happens. I bet the Chiefs are a super favorite in that game.
I like it. Jumping into my starts for the Chiefs, Juju's most likely out for this game. MVS limited, potentially out. Hardman on IR. So that leads me to my start of the week, baby. Kadarius Toney. Start that dude up because he's finna go off. It's no doubt. No Jack. He's doing it. He's coming in. He's doing his thing. Kadarius Toney, start of the week, baby.
Woo! Kadarius Toney, yeah. Everybody's out. Everybody's gone. I mean, he has to be the guy. I mean, Mahomes throwing him the ball. He's looking like a different receiver. I mean, looks like a younger Tyreek Hill, maybe Tyreek Hill 2.0.
Yeah, a little Tyreek Hill-esque. But also Pacheco, like we've said before, he's definitely worth the flex. And McKinnon is less flexible, but definitely in PPR formats with all these wide receivers limited, I think he's going to get a lot of targets. And of course, Mahomes and Kelsey, I don't even have to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. But go ahead to the Chargers, Trey. What do you got for them?
So Chargers starts. Eckler is really the only safe one you can start on this team. I mean, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are both not sure to play yet. Even if they do, I worry about snap counts and just re-injuries and stuff like that. It's hard to grab somebody who's been on injured for so long and it's still wondering if they're worth playing. So that's scary, but I'm still nervous to start Palmer regardless. But volume says yes. So I think Palmer's worth a flex. Herbert is really only startable in 2 QBs. You know what I mean? Like it's tough to start him in single quarterback leagues. And then Gerald Everett, you can throw a dart. He's had some good games this year, but he's had some bad ones too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that answers your question. Patriots Sports Radio, Mike Williams or Mike Evans? Trey, Mike Evans?
Yeah, I like Mike Evans.
Yeah, it's too scary. Chargers and injuries are just they are a lot going on over there. And Patriots Sports Radio says, y'all just want to run my dynasty team? No, you got it, bro. Just keep watching. We got you. Sounds good, but let's go ahead and move on to the last game, Monday Night Football. We have got the 49ers versus the Cardinals.
The over-under for this game is 44 points. Vegas has the Niners winning by 7.5. I like that.
Yeah, Niners take the W. I agree. Let's get in some Niners starts here. Start CMC, obviously. Hey, that rhymes. Start Ayuk, and you can flex Elijah Mitchell. I think he's going to do good. He had a good game last week, 85 yards. You maybe could have got him on the wire. Hopefully, probably not now, but yeah, keep an eye on it. I think Jimmy G has a decent game against the Cardinals. And keep an eye on Ray McLeod. Don't start him. Just keep an eye on him. Just if the past has shown you anything, if I say keep an eye on somebody, generally it's a good idea to keep an eye on them. And you could start Kittle here. Start Kittle against the Cardinals. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think Kittle has a really good game after he's been injured and everything like that. I do have a question for you, though. A guy I'm working with, asked me his fantasy questions because he's real big into fantasy, and he traded Ayuk for Tyler Lockett. Which side do you like better on that?
I like the Ayuk side, I think.
That's what I thought.
Ayuk has been very consistent. And the quarterback is, I think the quarterback situation is better with the Niners. I don't want to hurt your feelings over there, Trey, but I just think Geno Smith is going to come smashing back down to earth. And I like Ayuk here getting it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's what I said. But it's close to me. It's close, but I like Ayuk more.
No, it is close. You're right. They're both pretty consistent, but I think I like Ayuk better. But let's go to the Cardinals starts here. Connor went off last week. Looked like the Connor of last year. I think you could start Connor. Rondale Moore, they're starting to use him a lot, and I love it. Rondale Moore, I think you could flex him. D-Hop is not like 100%, but if he plays, obviously you're going to start him. And if Marquise Brown plays, coming right off the IR trade, do you like starting him?
I think it's worth a shot. I mean, it's scary, you know what I mean? But if they're like, he's good to go, putting him out there, that means he's ready. So you can put him in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got anything else for the Cardinals, Trey?
That's it, brother.
All right. If that is it, then that is it. We went over an hour today, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the questions. We appreciate that so much. If we missed your questions, throw them down in there and we will answer them anyways. Guys, don't forget that Patreon is up now, has officially launched, patreon.com/fourthandflex. We're giving away jerseys right now, a signed DeAndre Swift jersey, and Black Friday is coming up, guys, and Manscaped has personally given us some performance packages valued at $130 that we are giving away right here on the podcast. One for Thanksgiving, one for Christmas. Guys, again, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys so much. Trey, anything else you want to say from the passenger seat of that truck over there?
Yeah, man, just that we're here. We're doing our thing regardless of circumstance. You know, we're out here trying to help you. So stick with us, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell because when we go live, you want to be here.
Absolutely, Trey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up.
Balls to steal this guy.